So there's a lot of interesting information that's come out this week about Starfield, or in gaming news in general. This one's going to be about Starfield. There's recently been another interview that from an unknown source that we have not seen coming, and it gave us a little perspective on Starfield. And we're about to go talk about it. This article comes from WECCF Tech, if I'm saying that right. This is the first time I've ever used this source, but it's very, very interesting. Let's check it out. Let's check it out right here. Okay, Starfield composer says the game is huge and will give you another perspective on your whole being. Okay, okay, we'll get more on that later. We'll read the article, then we'll get into a more in-depth perspective of what I think is going on with the game. Because you know, I gotta rock my Starfield. If you guys don't know, I got my little Starfield LED light now, which is really cool. I love Bethesda games, and this is the new addition to the Bethesda series. I got to get something for them. That's just what I do. Okay. Starfield was notably missing at the Bethesda-owned QuakeCon and Cologne Gamescom events, and the fans have been scourged of every tidbit of info. Luckily, renowned Israeli-American composer Enon Zur, if you guys don't know him, he's really good. Enon Zur appeared in a lengthy video interview on YouTube via Nicolai Hogan's show. Zur has done a lot of critically acclaimed work for video games ever since Baldur's Gate 2, Throne of Ball, and all the way down to most recent games like Fallout 3, Dragon Age Origins, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4, Dragon Age 2, Dragon Age Dogma, Fallout 76, and of course Starfield itself. And this is what he said. The interviewer questioned him about the game coming as the game title. Zur thoroughly explained that he believes Starfield will be a remarkable game. But this right here is the meat and cookies, the meat and potatoes, the ice cream to the cake. This is right here is what we've been wanting to know for a while, and it gives you a good, juicy perspective on the game. Starfield, this is what Enon said. Starfield is a deep game. It's a philosophical game. It's a game that will consume a lot of. If you want to play Starfield, it'll consume a lot of your being. I believe that after Starfield, you will be a bit of, I wouldn't say changed person, but I would definitely give you another perspective, maybe a deeper perspective on your whole being. It seems like the game to me is going to be more deeper than any other Bethesda game ever was, because we'll get into that after this. In terms of size, and then we'll just go back down. This is just me rambling because I don't want to edit anything. Yeah, because what's funny is I am an editor. I edit anime videos and stuff, but I don't want to edit things lately. But we're not talking about that. Fuck that. We're talking about Starfield. In terms of game size, it's a huge game. It's twice as big as game as Bethesda's ever did, so way bigger than Skyrim, maybe bigger than Daggerfall. So it's huge, but it's not only that. The premise of Starfield lies in the courage of to ask questions and try to answer them, actually standing in the core of Starfield. It's more than just another shooter or another RPG. Starfield really takes a very courageous step in the realm of more philosophical. Oh, philosophical? Okay, that right there can be interpreted into different things. Some good, some bad for some. I believe it's a step in the right direction for me. It's not how it looks, but it's not how the gameplay is, although they're also incredibly, but it's not sure about that. So the story and the ability to write their own story within the story of Starfield really is, blah, blah, blah. Seeks the answers, maybe didn't. Starfield is the first new IP in the segment of Bethesda Studios in 25 years. Okay. The main point of this video, because I heard about this, and I was like, dude, what's everyone doing on Twitter? Like, what's going on? Why is Starfield trending? It's still trending to this day, right now, as we speak, about the game being philosophical, make you be in a change. It gives the game a more perspective. So what I believe, let's go full screen. So what I believe that's going to happen with Starfield is, of course, you're going to have your stellar Bethesda gameplay. I say stellar, interstellar, it's a pun. But it'll have the traditional Elder Scrolls gameplay, but it's going to be more delved into story. Like, of course, you're a human. As far as I know, we don't know if there's any beast races in this game. It's all humanoid. You see any monsters? Of course, what if you see an actual intelligent alien civilization? Maybe it's like a pseudo Mass Effect, where you're dealing with other aliens. And as far as we know, this is their first time making contact on some, like, you see monsters like that, but you didn't see any intelligent life. What I think this is going to be is you're going to be dealt with choices that you don't want to make. It's like, it's a more realistic story per se. Say like if you're dealing with alien creatures, maybe they're hostile, maybe you have to befriend them, you have to delve into their culture and stuff like that. You have to see things from other people's point of view to get your thing across, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I want to go here, but to go over here you have to need passage, but in order to get passage, these guys hate these guys, you have to kill them, but they hate that. You don't want to mess up your morale. It has a more infinite morality thing that actually have to deal with the game, something like that. At least that's what I believe. It's more in depth than what they actually want you to believe, per se. What I mean by that, it's like in the other Elder Scrolls games and or Fallout, you have certain things that goes on, but it doesn't impact the world as much. That's one criticism that they've been hearing for years and years, because I've been gaming for a long time. It's like, we want natural impact of the story and other gameplay options to go through these things. Hell, it's like if with the freaking lore in Elder Scrolls, you can do a whole bunch of stuff, but each game takes place thousands of years later, let alone centuries. And even in Fallout, you do one thing, it has like one ending, but their beliefs in the characters have other things that they want to do, and it affects the actual story. Like the Minutemen may not be the right choice for some, it's right for people. Even the Institute wanted to rule, you know, but they can have more meaning towards the story than actually doing other things. If you get what I'm saying, it's kind of hard to articulate what I'm trying to say. Like, no one wants to go one set path through anything, but in Starfield's case, it takes a more moral choice kind of thing. I know some people want to say the game is becoming woke, but I don't want to say the game is necessarily becoming woke, because I've been seeing that a lot. The game's not becoming woke. It's not that deep. It's like, you can say that it's become woke in Elder Scrolls or Fallout terms, because they don't deal that much in the story of things, in my opinion. Like, that's just like, you know, just a couple inkling things there. There is mad lore for both series, but it's not like you have a voice character. You put yourself, yeah, that's like one of the reasons why they took the voices out of the main characters. In a game like this, you don't need a voice character. That's what a lot of people hated in Fallout 4, because when you said this thing, but oh, that's not what your character's thinking. If you want to be yourself in the game, you can basically pick these choices, and it's like what you want. You'll get major options what you want. So that's what I think they're going for, more philosophy based and more perspective, because you get more options to do things you want that actually affects the story. And hopefully you guys can understand me the way I speak. It's like, I don't talk that, it's like I'm trying to say the wrong thing to get my point across. The game is not woke. It's just they're putting more direct emphasis on the story than what they usually do, you know, because, you know, they have a tendency to have these things that are all grand scale, but it's not that necessary for Bethesda games like that. You can't have it in theme wise, but for character wise, it's pretty good. And I think it's a step in the right direction, and I'm very, very looking forward to it. Hopefully that gives you some kind of insight. I don't deal with talking a lot of stuff like that with someone I'm passionate about. I love Starfield. Of course, I got the merch. It's one of my favorite games that I've seen in a long time, because I love Bethesda games. They haven't had a mainline thing in a long time. Fallout 76, I don't count that because they're doing something different, like I said before. But hopefully this gives you guys an insight on what I think this thing means as a deeper meaning. It's basically they're trying to have a game that's more story driven than often, instead of the off the cuff beaten path what they usually do, 30 hours long, 20 hours long. So I hope you guys understand that, and yeah, we'll see. Hopefully we'll see some more Starfield in the near future, maybe at the Game Awards or so on and so forth, or a Bethesda showcase. All right, y'all, like, share, subscribe, and peace. See you later.